Okay. I was hoping I wasn't going to be too late. Oh, Anthrax. Everyone's in here just the last minute while I just last minute started the stream. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Um, let's go ahead and get this train wreck rolling. All right. So the first thing I want to cover is the wait. Yeah, that was all. Sorry. First thing I want to cover is the showcase. So the Sega Extreme Saturn 31st Anniversary Homebrew Showcase. The deadline for the showcase submission is in exactly 1 month from this moment. Well, not this moment, 8 a.m. So a little less than 30 days, actually. Just a hair. Anyway, just want to remind everyone, please go check out emeraldnova.com to see the link to the showcase and all the rules and how to entry, including this nice little entry form. All right, and the showcase thread. I can tell you right now there are 7 entrants already, but all the entries tend to come in very last minute. So 7 will very quickly turn into 25 or 30 or something like that. So please go ahead and give it a go. I have updated the prize totals and had to go back over my figures and see to figure out first. I owe some people some money because I forgot to pay out some prizes. My bad. I will get to you guys, not momentarily, but probably sometime in the next couple days. I will message everyone who I haven't paid yet and say, hey, I owe you some money, including some people who probably don't realize I owe them some money from last year's prizes. But from the donated prize pool from last year, we have some generous donations from some of the placing categories. OG second prize. Geez. Here, let me pull off that spreadsheet off to the side so I can actually remember titles. Did what? Just a moment. Find me. Behind the curtain. Look up at some secret spreadsheets. No, not there. Okay, there's fine. Okay, so OG second prize was from Shenmue A Day in Yokosuka by Frog Bull and BBT. Donated their prize of 82.34. Baffling generously donated his prize to basically the rest of the category. And among those, I rolled that into one of the donated prizes for 6th place for hacks, patches, and translations. So Faffling won 2nd with his Doom Fix patch, which I highly recommend for anyone that wants to play Doom on the Saturn. It makes the original was already unplayable, but it makes it obviously unplayable in comparison. Now the 6th place was Silhouette Mirage. It was a team effort by Rasputin 3000 and Wired Crackpot, donated to this year's prize pool, and some of the obvious donations were from teams too big to actually split the prize, like SRL, the SRL team, including Raimi, Danny Duarte, Seven Shades, Will with several L's, Nemesis, and Jay. And then Trekkies Unite 118 donated his prize for the Saturn film tools. Okay, everyone else I owe money to if I've not paid them already, so if you don't get at me first, I will get at you. I am looking for additional donations, though. So right now, again, the format has changed. We are making a zine. That is a lot of tabs, but I know exactly what all of them are doing. Kind of. Don't test me on that. So the total prize pool is a hair under 900. I'm taking additional donations. You can click this neat little donate tab, and it'll take you to PayPal. And again, everything goes over here after PayPal takes their blood money cut. For currency transfers and what have you, will go into the prize pool. That leaves about 149 for each of the 6 categories. Again, best original game, best translation, best non-translation patch. I still haven't fixed that. That is, wow! I just edited this thing. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix it later. I'll fix it after this. Best utility, most creative entry, and most likely fan favorite entry. So. Go ahead and click that donate button. Maybe get that prize pool over to $1,000, or what's a nice even number that's kind of funny. Let's see. if we wanted everyone to have, you know, $2.99, multiply that by 6. Jeez. Okay, if you guys just donate another $900, we're gonna have everyone have $299, which is the price of the Sony PlayStation around the time that the Saturn launched. Anyway, enough of that. I finally added Cerbero to the reviewers / judges list. Oh yeah, reviewers. Okay, good. That's noted correctly. Krista again, Danthrax, who is in chat. David Jimenez, Millennium Shane, Pandemonium, Peter, and Trano. This table no longer really makes sense because we're not really doing a kind of a ranked thing, so I will just... Oh, no, it's still kind of... Yeah, I get it. Wow, I forgot how much I hated this game's soundtrack. Where is that? How did this even make it in? No, none of that. Shame on you. I'll take it. Phantasy Star Universe, hit or miss, but I'll take it. Anyway, emeraldoverlay.com. Head over to the 31st anniversary homebrew showcase link and go ahead, check out, make an entry. You know, I highly recommend using SRL for that. If you want to donate to bump up the prize pool for the 6 of the judges' selections for the individual categories, we can go ahead and you know, donate for that and make that a little bit more enticing for the next 30 days of effort. That out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and get back into GalaXmas Regifted. So for those of you that do not recall, so Daniel Fredrickson was a good friend of the share community, passed away recently due to cancer. We were working on this kind of last minute around November, December timeframe when we learned about, at least when I learned about diagnosis. So I kind of wanted to shove his likeness into the game, make him the star and role of the game. Unfortunately, you know, my life got in the way as well as, you know, the progression of his disease. So he passed away before we can get any real progress on it, but I'm still committed to try to get this game out. So I'm hoping for this showcase it'll be done and that'll be ready for him and perhaps if his family wishes to, they could play it well. So let's just see what we got so far. And again, I haven't touched this in a minute because I've just been so distracted with life and other things. However, the last thing that was added was Seven Shades assisted with a little height map, which is kind of like a preview of some of the tech that we're working on for Scenario. And if you recall the last stream, you know, that is obviously progressing. Odd soundtrack choice. Not sure if I want to keep it. There we go. There we go. Like I said, PSU, hit or miss. This one could stay, but I want something different. Wait a minute. Wait, is this the wrong? Oh! Oh, whoops! Oh, whoops. All right. This is the sound demo. I was playing with that earlier for different reasons. Yeah, look forward to a story regarding JF Santos and Frog Bull in the relatively near future when I make time to write it on Shiro Media Group. How do I open a new? Okay. Silly. Okay, first off, you were not allowed to, like, why do I even have, like, second jingles track playlist with you in fact all of okay, well, we'll give some of you a chance. You two, go away. Okay. Shadow the Hedgehog never misses. All right. I get to the point of the stream finally. Dandrix, it'll be done when it is done. Okay. It's like you can't rush art. Anyway, what was I doing? I was building a debug. No way did it compile that fast. No pre-build still. Is it done? Heck? Oh, no, it wasn't done. Or was it? Was it just barely done? Okay, yeah, there we go. That's what it... Anyway, let's see if my controller actually works. Alright, so we got this nice little height map, courtesy of Seven Shades. The Santa follows the cursor, but I still need to work on the hysteresis of him actually following. Also, the frame rate. You know, I also got to work on that part. That clipping with the ground. So the first thing I want to do is try to... There's a little bug flag there I want to overwrite because I don't need to look at it anymore. So... Oh boy. I was hoping to put some enemies in the game today, but this is really bothering me, but I will overlook it for the time being. Yeah. It's 3D, and it's, you know, it's Star Fox light in presentation. When I was redesigning the game, I was asking Mr. Fredrickson, I was like, hey, okay, I'll give you two choices. What's your favorite, Star Fox or something Tomb Raidery? Because one of the ideas was just have Santa on foot, just like awkwardly throwing coal at enemies, which would kind of be more in line with like the scenario engine. And the other one would be basically this. And he preferred Star Fox, so here we are. And it kind of melds better with the flavor of GalaXmas. So the idea is, well, you can't really see it on this model because he's facing away, but that is actually a 3D mapped Mr. Fredrickson's face. I really got to work on lateral speed for this guy. I can't Santa a little bit faster. Gotta remember what I was actually doing. Santa. Alright, there we go. Vision size, start angle, and speed. Make that speed twice as big. And then pointer to animated object for frame reference. Alright. And we'll double that. I have a print on line 21 to try to overwrite that little debug, so let's... I've already filed my taxes, and I actually owe the IRS a considerable amount of money this year because I got, I keep trusting the IRS withholding tool, and it keeps lying to me. Also, the government shutdown kind of screwed around with my finances a little bit. Anyway, you did remind me that I probably should double check on them. Make sure that I'm ready to sign a large check. Days. I wonder if I should just get rid of the rubber banding on the directionality and just have him like a pure direction toward Okay, so the cursor follow. So I have like deltas on the cursor follow, but what I can do is I can just overwrite this. You want to hear a funny number? And, you know, obviously this is kind of like a weird special case, but like, I owe $6,500 in taxes. It's, yeah. So, luckily, I'm liquid enough to try to absorb that, but it is an incredibly uncomfortable tax bill. Take a while for me to rebuild my savings. Yeah, so like my withholding was screwed up, and I was forced into long-term capital gains sale of some very old assets, which turned into 15% off of enough for me to live off of the entire government shutdown. which was a long time. Okay. Well, who's messaging me? Why am I able to hear that? Should have like streamer mode on or something. Should be for 8 hours. If I stream more than 8 hours, I got a problem. Okay. Let us let's test out a new routine. So this is gonna be hard focus on target. No gradual shift. So X and Y. But we want this in angles. So how do we convert X to L? So these are going to be okay. Screen position coordinates are, I believe these are fixeds. Okay, so 0 is what we want. Although, actually, along the X direction, we want 180, I believe. So, real quick. Now, let's double check SRL real quick. I happen to have... Ooh. No, that wasn't it. That one on green. There it is. Okay. Wrong symbol. Let's get to... Oh, I want to keep this tab open. Add me even more tab. Is there a fixed to int function or macro that isn't just me shifting stuff that may XP? No, that wasn't. Operator overrides, those are... Rounds down to the nearest integer. I don't care about that part right now. I just want to grab screw it, I'm just gonna use the shift, what I'm used to. I wanted to use an SRL macro that was available if it existed, but you know, whatever. There, now it's an integer. Now I can convert it to degree. Now, what is the worst case scenario? The screen itself being like 320 something or another. 320 by 224. So let us take this number here. And this number, let's say worst case scenario is 320. So we'll do times the maximum travel angle of 60 degrees divided by 320 And we'll set that to an angle. Actually, I didn't even need to shift because it'll be in... Let's see. Fixed with integer division. That should still work, right? Doubting myself. Okay. We have a fixed, multiplied by an integer, divided by an integer. Let's just check the overrides. The overrides might tell us that I can just do but. Operator division override. Divide by fixed. No. Divide by... Okay, so the operator should handle it even if I did think of it wrong. So that should work. Don't need this extra here. Okay, so we'll take the difference, multiply it up by 60, and then divide it up by 320. That'll get it into some number that exists between 0 and 60. Or I guess negative 60 and 60. But, you know, whatever. And we'll try to do something similar with the Y chord. Although maximum along the vertical will be 224. So let's yeah, let's see how this works. Whatever's going on here is probably not so. Alrighty then. Why am I using my mouse? Oh! Well, that certainly had the effect that I was not expecting. Okay. Also, not PAL, you were supposed to turn into just a bunch of pieces. Yeah. Alright, so what went wrong? Do I need to... Well... If Y-del... Do I... Let's see. If Y-del is positive... He must go back to his home planet. Y-del is positive. We want to subtract out. Okay, so I got the sign wrong. There. Let's see. What about the X-del? Similar there. Okay. Supposed to be negated in both axes. Try that again. Hopefully that was it. And probably it's probably being overcorrected. From that wide angle. Like, I need to lower both of these numbers from 60 down to, like, reasonable. Okay. I mean... it could be faster. It really could be. Let's see what the worst case scenario looks like. Okay, we'll get him into the ground. And then all of a sudden... Yeah. What do you guys think? Is that like... Could it be faster? Would you like it to be faster in a Star Foxy situation? I think it needs to be faster. We're gonna give him some more travel. Okay, I'm gonna give him 75 on each. And I'm also gonna up his speed by another 100. Where do we initialize that? Go. Gotta remember to update the entity. Sometimes, and I was hoping to Or to get this to a place where I feel like it'll feel okay, and then I will try to draw some enemies on screen. Assuming that they're in the down files. Dark Hat. Okay, we'll try to draw a Dark Hat on. I'm not going quite for bullet hell, but I am... It does need to be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so it's reliably following the cursor, but in a delayed enough fashion where, like, it does punish you for being too slow. So I'm kind of okay with this. And then Santa's hitbox, I think I'm just gonna... It's just gonna be basically AABB, so it's not gonna... It might not exactly match up, but it'll be forgiving enough where he can just get away with it. I forget if I don't think I have the animations for Santa set up. Also, this background. What's up with that? Dark. I can be able to see the Dark Hat. Let's try to draw... Okay, the entity... I'm just going to comment out the original angle travel routine because... I do. Yeah, I'm going to comment this whole thing out. Just keep it in my back pocket in case I really want. Honestly, I say that and I look at this, I'm like, I could just delete this. Oh. Maybe I don't trust myself that much. Let us, Santa is rotated by 180, meaning, if he's rotated like that, then I'm just going to reset it like this. Ah, jeez. Right. And then we have to make like a more dynamic enemy dropper, but for now I'm just gonna I mean, I guess we'll just keep the... Well, you know what? I can just open up Blender real quick and just double check to see if I think I'm doing the thing that I think I'm doing. That tracks. Assets. You, okay. Come on. I know how much Blender loves it when I stream. Alright. So we're at minus 5. Alright, chat, let's do some really quick lazy notepad. Alright. So oops. The audacity. I'll get rid of this guy. Oh, I gotta open up Twitch. Making me monitor my own chat. Very rude. All right. Hurt or hateful conduct. Self-harm? Spam. Okay. promo. Alright. And that kick him? Very true, Fire. Very, very true. Alright. Front. We have 0 point. So here's the thing. I have to rotate the okay, no, we'll do it in Blender Space, and then we'll have to rotate it after the fact. But again, whatever. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. 0, 0, minus 0.5. Okay, well, I'm gonna make the hitbox artificially small, but that's only because it makes it easier for me to conceptualize. I'm lazy. Right, 0, 0 basically, and 0.5 it, and then is 0.92. And 0. Okay, now we got to transpose this. So z is actually minus y, x is still x, but then z is minus y, x is x, and then positive y is actually positive z. So z is minus z. Okay. Z is... So I take the z from here and I turn it into minus y. There we go. That's how we... Okay. I get it. From here. Y. Here. Alright, and that's... Alright, we'll just make a box. 25-sided box. Okay. So... Let me just double check my... What is... Okay. This is coming off the soundtrack, playlist, whatever thing. Because I'm waiting for the song to start and just starting. There we go. Let's double check Santa. The Santa will tell me a lot about the size conversion I was expecting. Okay. Oh, that was quick. That bot got okay. Alright guys, I'm having to rearrange my multi-screen setup while I'm doing stuff. Okay, let's check Santa's area. So 1.5 meter. Okay, so basically I made him, I kind of sized it according to humanish proportions, kind of, sort of, not really. So 1.5 vertical, but when I translate that over, I made it 12? So what does that really mean? What was I thinking? What was I doing? Check, z-axis is pretty precise, 3.8. That's y. Okay. So I think that's a factor of 2? Or a factor of 10, sorry. Minus 0.8. Where's my export script? Scale 1. Okay, let's... AABB size anchored at bottom center. So I'm guessing that is... Let me double check. It doesn't actually get assigned to anything. So I guess it's up to me to decide what that really means. But yeah, I'm guessing that I'm just going... I guess that's distance from center, from bottom center. So if I'm gonna just draw it, paint. All right. So if I have a box and my bottom center is here, what I really need is this distance, but then also this distance along minus y, and an implicit, you know, distance along the z-axis, like... Could have made that like purple. Off in the z-axis is also in the center, so that's basically like halfway. Anyway, so what does that mean for the dark hat? The dark hat is 0.5 tall, but 0.25 in either direction because it's basically a box. So, let's do it that way then. But wait. But then these numbers don't come up. Is it a factor of 10? What's going on here? When I draw Santa, how about that? When I draw Santa. To draw, like, I don't do anything special with the matrix. It just draws it. So if it's exported as a let me open it back up again. If it's exported as a scale of 1, all right. Well, I guess this will come up when we actually try to do some collision crap. So, like I said, we're gonna try it this way. 0.5, 0.25. Honestly, since I haven't defined it well, that well yet anyway, I might as well just make it a little bit more readable for my purposes. So if it's 25 to minus 25 on each direction, we'll just make it 0.5 for every direction and call it, these are the actual sides of the box, and the center just happens to be at the center. And as such, Santa should be 1.5-ish meters tall, or something thereabouts. I'll be generous and call it 1.4. I don't know where I got these. And then we'll make him basically the size of the sleigh for the hitbox. I'll make him the size of his gut. X is minus 45 to 45. I'll make him 0.9. Yeah, I was multiplying it by 10. That's clearly what I was doing there. But why? Because it's not drawn multiplied. This is why I don't need to take month-long breaks for my games. Front to back. Y is minus 38 to 38. 76.76. Alright. I'm gonna make this thing slow as molasses. Oh, wait, sleigh. And then we need to make some room for... Oh, this is why it took so long to do this part. It's because I have to make room for the Gouraud shading tables to draw it proper. So then when I actually draw any object, enter to animated object. Geez, I wish Ray was on. Okay. I set these polygons. Actually, let's go to area. Are you even defined? Oh, that's elsewhere. Another file or a header part. Yeah, there it is. It's over here. Literally, black to white, 0 to 31. Okay, so we have the shading table. We need to set a work area big enough for everything. Base count, divide by 4. How do I do this twice when I can do this? And we're just going to assume that we can do, although I don't see... I'm getting a little bit paranoid from my C brain thinking this is dynamic allocation, and it basically is, but also allowed to do it. Okay, so I'm giving myself enough Gouraud room to draw the Santa and Dark Hat. Shading table. But then when I draw the Santa itself, all I'm doing is calling this draw command. It's pointing to the animated object. Animated object is a property of the class itself. Private part. Yeah. Animated object, which means animated object. There we go. When we initialize the animated object, model file. Gouraud table start. Okay, that's all right. So the Gouraud table is sized by what? Bases? There we go. So do int Gouraud. Gouraud or Gouraud? Gouraud. Start 0. This and plus equal sleigh. I could do something very hilarious and make Polygon do double duty, but I feel like that would be a torturous notation of what I'm actually doing here. I want the variables to meet. I'll eat the extra int space. Lose the 4 bytes. All right, so assuming I'm hoping I'm correct here, that the Gouraud table is indexed by each polygon, which it should be, and then the work table is. I need to have someone explain this to me. I need to get Ray on the horn to explain this part to me. Why the work table is 1/4 the size. And then the vertex table is the vertex count, but, you know, we can, you know, whatever, work with that. Let's see, how does the vertex table even work? Because I'm not referring to it during the draw call. I'm assigning it an offset. I'm just assigning an offset of the Gouraud table itself, which is like on the face part of it. What does it assign? New model object. Oh, do I have to open model object? Surprise. Gouraud table start. Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, where did you go? All this just to draw a second thing on the screen. There we go. Gouraud offset. Alright, that's Gouraud iterator. Okay, so this is where we start, and it's going to iterate over that. That part makes sense. And this happens per mesh, and the meshes are face. Okay, so I assumed correctly for that part. Is there any other useful thing? Where's the vertex table information? Does the vertex ever come up? Mesh header point count. Oh, it's just XP data, though. Huh. I guess I have to assume that it's okay to do this and make a draw call and hope everything gets sorted. Let's, do I put it on the screen? I put it on the screen. Okay, so, where does Santa start? Santa starts dead center of the screen. Let's put Dark Hat a little bit above him. And, maybe about, you know, 20 meters out. Probably very small. Also, maybe we should, brighten up the background. I need to separate this off into its own header. Got all this draw data coming up right before main. Okay, SRL core initialized. Let's look up what a valid color code is. For initialize high color. If I just do an arbitrary high color. There we go. High color. There we go. Take that a little bit. Do I have to do it this way? A fully qualified constructor. Okay, sorry. Actually, it's not. I think it's like 31 or something. I go white. 31, 31, 31. I just call you like that? Yeah, okay. High color. Tell me more about 255, but are divided by 8. So effectively, yes, but no. Anyway, let's look up what blue sky looks like. Blue sky RGB. Go away, AI. Nobody asked for you. Alright. Go for this one. 135, 206, 235. If that works. Might make the background mountain a little bit funky looking, but we can stop that if that. Absolutely. Alright, we changed a lot of stuff. That was probably bad. We probably should have done something a little bit more incremental with the testing, but whatever. On with Affin. Oh, okay, there's sky blue. There's the background mountain. Where's my dark hat? Where's my dark hat at? I didn't put in the draw call. That's where the dark hat's at. Nowhere. All right. The entity exists. The entity exists. Where does it exist? Does it somewhere? Meeny, meeny, miny. Why is this all the way out here? Should it be here? Right. Yeah. All right. We have the entity. There's a cursor. There's a main loop. There we go. That's the speed. Speed is low. Not the sleigh. Rather, the dark hat. Go. And then enemy. Let's do a quick little draw. Here can we... Can't draw? Alright, enemy draw. Surely it cannot be this simple. And a Fantasy Star soundtrack. And it behaves. I don't see the dark hat. But the Santa is drunk. Okay, let's do something really, really dumb and just double check. All right. We're gonna drop his speed to 0. And we're going to place him dead center just like Santa was. Dark hat, did I loaded it in, right? It's there. Gouraud table has been offset, but... Alright, see if this even shows up on screen. Not, I got bigger problems. If I've got yaw problems, I can't really make too much progress on stream. I might just have to end up and go crying to Ray for help in the morning. Dark hat is not being drawn at all. Now, there is the additional thing I should consider, which is that the height map that 7 is using to draw may or may not be using Gouraud, because it does look pretty smooth. But I don't get... Okay, well, we'll do one more thing. We'll get Santa back, right? Just for sanity's sake. Let Santa go on screen. To make sure that he's still there. Okay, Santa still exists. Santa is real, children. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, let us take this line and do some tomfoolery with it. Our cat. All right. Real quick sanity check. Okay, Dark Hat, when I exported you... Jeez. Here's the thing. I like the song. However, no lyrics on stream, unfortunately. I didn't catch that. And also, this is not part of the Sonic Heroes. Figure that out later. Anyway, next song. Okay. So when I exported Doc Hat, it was B smooth scale 1. I export Santa Sleigh, B smooth scale 1. So it's using the same. Alright, anyway, we're gonna see if this works. I'm gonna turn Santa into a dark hat. See if that helps. Because if this does help, it means I screwed up the Gouraud stuff somehow. Out of curiosity. We should have a size T as opposed. Really matters. So the dark cat shows up right there. And he's thankfully relatively visible against the background, but he's supposed to be turned around. Probably that in post. Problem is, I can't get the other dark cat that's supposed to be on screen to remain on screen. Maybe I need to have like some sort of update function for him. So, for Santa himself. Oh, this is the 3D terrain stuff. That's the neat stuff that Seven Shades helped me with. And by helped, I mean he did all that part. Okay. Let's do an enemy update. And maybe that's enemy update. Enemy.update. False for recalculation. He's going to get a constant speed. See if there's anything else needed. A living flag. Is Santa alive? Obviously Santa's alive, because Santa has always been alive, and it's Santa will be alive forever, children. However, when I do load Santa... Oh, that's a sleigh. Where's the Santa? Santa alive.true. Where do I load up the entity? Wait, there we go. It's always something stupid like this. Anyway, I think we can turn Santa back into his old jolly self. Over... Not there, not there, not there, not there. Yes, there. I forgot that when I made the entity, I made it a little bit more robust than I was remembering. So, kill it. Ew. In fact, it starts dead and you have to turn it back to life to actually see it. I want to see if I can give it a little routine to wiggle around with it or something, but it's probably outside the scope of what I want to do tonight. Okay, Dark Hat is tiny, but there. I mean, that's what it is. That's the thing, way out there in the distance, kind of hard to see. Probably make it bigger. Anyway, where do I start it, though? So when I start the Dark Hat. That's the AABB. Position. Here, I'm going to give it some non-trivial speed. Oh, you know what? Real quick, Blender, remind me, how do I see normals? Ah, geez, I know it's somewhere in here. There, face orientation. There we go. Oh, that wasn't it. It was supposed to show me the normals. Where the normals at? Okay. Blender. You normals. I bet you I'm getting backface called. Show overlays and tick face orientation. Did I not already do? Is that not here? There. Overlays. Reference. There. But the face orientation is not showing me anything. Are they all internal? Am I looking at this thing inside out? What about this guy? Show me your normals. I must be missing something. Oh, hey. To the right of the overlays dropdown is a new edit mode overlays dropdown. The edit mode overlays are in there. Ready? Alright. Viewport overlay. Reference or grid. I'm showing basically everything. Am I going crazy? I don't see the face normals on this thing. Oh, this is obnoxious. Okay, let's try this one more time. Blender 5.1, view normals. Okay, nobody tell anyone. We're going to be very sneaky and watch part of someone else's YouTube video. And by part of, I mean I'm just going to pause it so I don't get struck on the re-up. Come on. Show me. Wait. Oh, it's the red shading. Oh, okay. Okay. There, so we're gonna be there, and then face orientation. The red shading shows, okay, so that face is inverted. Now, you can see this on the Santa. So the red shading shows that's how the back face culling is being done. So you're not... Well, actually, we're not back face culling these ones because they're partially transparent, but that's how it would be done were we doing that. Now, Dark Hat. That was a weird choice by Jun Tsunoi there. Anyway, apparently all these normals are facing out, which is correct. And then this red shading is indicating this guy is facing forward, which is like, this is how we would normally see this thing. So, here's what I'll do. I have to trust that when I exported this thing, it was more or less correct. I'm going to put him Y minus 10. I'm going to put him at... Lost Jungle, such a weird... I'm going to make him very, very slow. I'm going to put him 10 out into the distance. So plus 10. And maybe I'll offset him a little bit. And to the right. Just to make sure that he doesn't overlap with Santa when we see him. And he should slowly approach us. Okay, so that dark hat should be coming at us any minute now. Any minute. It occurs to me, when I loaded up the dark hat as an enemy, did I rotate it 180? No? Oh no, the angle is... Anyway. Here he comes. Any day now. I don't get is why he looks so weird. Right? This will also be very, very awkward to try to shoot at. I need to make him bigger. Gotta export him at like 2 or 3 times scale. Or gonna just make the blender model 2 or 3 bigger so I can track it better. Okay. So, this is not just a draw call thing. This is something weird is happening. All right. So, the dark hat. What's going on with it? The hat part looks okay. The rest of it, it looks like... Oh my. Oh, let's get a better look at that. I want to see what happens when we get it up close. Okay. I'm going to put it dead center. And I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer. I'll put it 2 away. And I'm going to turn off the draw call for Santa. I want to see what's going on there. And once again, when we start running into Gouraud problems, this becomes a problem of how do I interact with the YA format, and it would not be productive for me to try to stream that bug checking without Ray present, so I will just wait for Ray to be awake and fix that. So we might call it early if I find that this is a weird drawing issue. If I can't put enemies on screen, I can't make a lot of progress on the shooting routine. Okay, let me just... Okay, and we will enjoy the music while we let this guy slowly... I probably could have put him a little bit closer. I probably could have started him at 0. In fact, it might be faster for me to start him at 0. Let him approach us slightly faster. There we go. Okay. We'll give him a 3. We'll start him at 0. Give us time, and I can always just pause the stream later and expect. Oh, yeah. Is that really a 0? This has to be a drawing error. That doesn't feel like a 0. Getting closer into the screen. I guess the camera is back a little bit too. So notice, 1, the hat. I think the back face. I think we're looking at some back face culling weirdness. It looks like, I think we were looking at this thing like Inside Out or something. All right, let's go back into Sky. Expect like space. So. I just... There we go. Okay, so it's red... Well, everything's red tinted. No, but the white part is red tinted. So the inside is still back-faced. Because when we go inside of it, it looks like we're going inside, like, the hat part over here. That's what it looks like to me. But we're skipping the triangles. Which, you know, okay. Odd. But I think we also kind of saw a little poof ball. What we didn't see is any of this stuff. And it looks like there was like some weird Gouraud nonsense going on here. Which I thought I accounted for by... Where did I quote unquote? Oh, geez. Stuff that 7 added. My stuff. I guess to be complete, I really should. But I think something happened with the vertex table to cause that kind of weirdness to happen. Oh yeah, the camera's behind by like -8 on the Z-axis. Yeah. And so the frustrum culling is... I have to do some math based on the FOV, but it'd be pretty generous. It's not 0. It's going to be way behind that. Okay, light direction. Light is coming from the right and from behind. Well, the vertex work area should have enough room for everyone involved. And I did the Gouraud start offset. And beyond that, animated object doesn't really give you much room to work with in terms of like... Yeah. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the towel because I already know that the kind of problem that I'm looking at here requires specialized check eyes to solve. So I'm going to thank everyone for coming and joining me on Saturday night. Sorry for the shortish stream. Once again, I would like to remind everyone that we have the showcase upcoming, and hopefully all of these problems will be solved by the time that the showcase is up. And look forward to that. And then I also need to get to writing a few articles this weekend while I still have some time left. Thank you, Firehair, for all the engagement and the cheerleading and whatnot. Unfortunately, I ran into some Nya-related problems. So, like I said, call it quits for tonight. Everyone, please consider making a game for the Homebrew Showcase. If not, maybe donate to the prize pool to make it more interesting. And I will see you next time. I don't know when next time will be. I know last time I said I would do the stream on a Tuesday night, but I just fell asleep, so we'll see. But, yeah. Well, good night, everyone.